I did want to get into the Michigan thing because, like, with what we saw with Michigan this weekend, like, the fact that everyone's kind of, like, losing their minds, and everybody does this, right? Like, they jump back in and they're all in. Like, I don't have to watch the game. You can show me the box score, and I'll tell you whether or not they won. And when Michigan turns a basketball over 9 times and shoots 81% from the free throw line, they're winning.
Chances. Yeah, I like their
They're
chances.
winning, period.
They almost did,
That's
though.
against anyone, Sean. If they do that against Auburn, they will beat Auburn.
Hey, for all the shit that we get, and KG, I hope you get our back here. Do you remember we did that show about a month ago where we were talking about this, and I said, this is a team that teams in the Big Ten know what to expect.
Yeah.
But they get into the tournament. This is a team that could very well punch the ticket and end up in the Sweet 16.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is exactly what's happening. Like, Neil, I'm not surprised. We know what Michigan is, and it really is as simple as, are the shots falling, Y or N? Check one box. If you check a Y next to that, I'm like, okay, I like their chances. But here's the big one. Are the turnovers within reason? That's Michigan basketball. That's what Dusty May has brought to the table this year. If they keep those things in order, and hey, this just in, Neil, if they keep those things in order against mighty Auburn, I like their chances against mighty Auburn too. And I'm not joking when I say that. That's easier said than done, however, against a team the caliber of Auburn.
No, and like, you go back to the San Diego game, right? They shot 55% from the free throw line. They turned it over 14 times. You can get away with that, and you can survive against San Diego. You can against Texas A&M because they were down in that game in the second half, down double digits, and came back and won, and that's what it took. If you do that, if they're in the teens in turnovers and they're 70% or lower from the free throw line, they're going to get rolled against Auburn. They just are. You can do it against San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
This is the point in the tournament we're at right now. See, this is why, for me, when we talk about the NCAA tournament, and everybody kind of gets all fired up because we're at the Sweet 16, the game you didn't play well and you got away with. You got away with it.
But like, even you said you can't do that. You only get one of those.
You'll get one of those. And,
yeah.
And it comes against a mid-major team typically that played awful. That were 2 for 15 from 3 in the first half. They, when you reconstruct that San Diego game, they were fortunate.
Yeah, they were.
They were fortunate, but they were bigger, and they were active on the offensive glass, and that's the formula for Michigan. Like, it's not a secret. This wave of emotion with Michigan fans and the basketball team, I don't understand. This is Dusty May basketball. Like, this is the way that it is.
Get used to it.
And it's always like this. Now, it's going to be good more often than it's going to be bad, and it'll certainly never be 3-17 in the Big Ten. But,
damn right.
The Fab Five's coming home. But anyway, I digress. You're going to see 2 possible outcomes for Michigan in this Auburn game. They will turn the basketball over and they will lose, or they will not turn the basketball over and they will win.
I feel the exact same way. Dude, I said it a couple minutes ago. My jaw wouldn't drop if they won this game.
No.
I'm serious when I say that. But, Neil, and I think the same thing can go back to the Michigan State game. If you have the type of game that you did against New Mexico last night, Ole Miss will beat you. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind. Where you hold a team scoreless for 9 minutes and you're still trailing, Ole Miss is going to find a way to beat that. And the same thing, Neil, can be said about Auburn. Look, everybody and their brother knows Auburn should win this game, but this is not a, oh my gosh, what an incredible upset it would be. No, there's a pretty darn good Michigan team, and now, boy, is this the greatest old bit of all. Wait till he gets his guys in there. He is working and operating right now without his guys. So I'm going to be intrigued to see what Dusty does with this team when he has, quote-unquote, his guys in there, especially after a couple years.
Weezy D313, Vlad Golden, tough.
Yeah.
But people were talking differently the other day.
They sure were.
You know,
They
like
sure were.
Well, I mean, to be a 7-footer and not, just dominate the glass, dominate the boards like you expect them to do. Now, they did it in this game, which is a good reason why we won. Also, a heroic effort by Roddy Gale, somebody who normally struggles from 3 points, went out there and hit 4 out of 6 3-pointers. So let's be real about it. But at the same
that's
time,
what it takes.
but at the same time, I don't think anybody was necessarily turning against Vlad Golden. You just knew what he was capable of, and he finally showed you during the tournament that he could play like that.
No, it is. It's interesting to me. It is because the Auburn game's a truth telling.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because there's nothing to say either.
I'm
way.
looking forward to it. I am.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like this is, and I'll have something more about William Turnbull in the chat. Just kind of wrapping up the Michigan discussion. May has been great. Keep building at Michigan. Woodward Sports chat thread. James Miller, go blue. Great job done by Coach May, and that's different. That's different. The different tune than you guys were singing about a week or so.
Not all the
ago.
fans.
Real K77, stick to your guns, Neil. You said Michigan was going to be knocked out soon. When did I say that?
No, I don't think you said that.
I said that
can't
in the
recall
face
that.
of you guys when you guys were all imploding about Dusty May.
Yeah.
Even before the smackdown by Michigan State, we were talking about that on the show. I mean, I'm sorry. And I know we even did a show with Terry about it where you were like, okay, you know how it is. You only have a couple days to prepare. And Michigan, what they do is going to be more difficult on the team that only has a couple days to compare. They were Sweet 16 bound. There was no doubt in my mind that this team was going to the Sweet 16, and I'm not surprised. And if anybody would call us out, by the way, it's that guy.
No, trust me.
No, I'm not
I would.
pointing at me. I'm pointing at KG.
You know
KG
goddamn well I
would
would.
call us out.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Mark Royal. Wolf has regressed to me. Needs to come back to school.
He played better this last game. I don't think he's regressed.
Well, there's been a change in how he's defended.
Yeah, and he's not polished. We got to just accept him. He's great for what he is right now, but he's not a complete product, and that's okay.
No, I don't know when Wolf all of a sudden was going to be a top 5 pick in the draft in people's eyes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Flag or Wolf who was going to go first, right?
Yeah.
Cooper Flag or Wolf. I don't know. I think people got a little ahead of their skis with that.
Well, I mean, we're all guilty of this. I'm always the guy that says you have to be patient. You have to be patient. But I wasn't really patient with Michigan State this year. I think it's easier to tell you to be patient about your team than it is to be patient about your own team.
No,
right?
of course.
I mean, it is. Hey, guys, everything Dusty kind of speaks for himself. Relax. Everything's going to be okay. Well, that's easy for you to say. And conversely, you know what, Neil? I had that same problem this year. Who's the alpha? I remember vividly you're sitting where Spenny was, and I was looking at Spenny going, who's the alpha? Mm-hmm. Who's the guy on this team? This looks a lot like teams gone by for me in the past about Michigan State. And I openly admit it. I was one of those guys. Who's the alpha? Well, sometimes you have to wait for that to manifest itself. To kind of present itself and go, hi, I'm here. Now I'm the guy. I am the alpha. And I thought that's something that Michigan State was missing. But no, Neil, again, it's a lot easier to look at the opposition and maybe with a closer eye and a more legitimate eye than your own. Because, again, emotion gets involved. And you have to find a way to take emotion out of the equation.
Mark McCormick. Justin Pippen hitting the transfer portal, and he did.
Yeah, he did.
He jumped in the transfer portal this
Shout
morning,
out to him.
despite the fact that Michigan is in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament, and that is a continued evolution as well of this. And Sean, I said this 2 years ago, I want to say, where people were getting kind of upset about guys that sit out of bowl games, and I said, well, get ready because it's going to continue to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And the level that it's going to happen in is going to continue to rise and rise. And lo and behold, Sean, we did have guys sit out the playoff, the college football playoff. You're going to continue to see this as well. And it's Justin Pippen, so no one's going to care, right? Like, that, no one cares.
Yeah.
You will care when it's Danny Wolf.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's different.
You will, because it's going to happen. I'm not just saying Michigan. You will when it's Jace Richardson. Like, it is going to continue to elevate.
Yeah.
It just is. I'm glad you brought that up, by the way, in the chat. It's Drake Cole. What TF is this tone, Neil? I don't know what tone you're referring to. It's the way I talk. But anyway, Sean, I'm not surprised by this. It won't be the last time you see this. And the level of importance will only continue to rise with guys that, quote, jump in the portal. And you will see it. You will 100% see it.
We have to retrain our brains. Like, honestly, I mean, what we grew up with is no more. Like, let's just get used to it. This is the way things are now, and you're going to have to roll with the punches, and that's the way it is.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Mike G. Michigan continues to be the underdog, and they have persevered. John Martin in the super chat.
Shout out.
Shout out to John Martin. Michigan State can't shoot. And when it ends for them, if it ends for them,
It will be because of
you
that.
will point to the box score, and I will show you the why.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not this stuff's not a secret, man. Like, I don't know if I'm killing the joy of it for people here, but like that's how it's going to go down. If Michigan State loses, I'm imagining that box score will probably look something like 5 of 24 from 3.
Yep.
Sheesh.
6 of 26.
Yeah.
That's the way it'll look like. Just like when if Michigan loses.
Oh, yeah.
15 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
68.8% from the free throw line.
20% from 3.
That's the nature of the beast, man. I don't understand it. Chuck Brewer, been saying since January, we're better suited for out of conference than in conference. James Miller also said, it's a bummer he's in the portal. There's an upside to his game. Would have gotten more playing time next season. Oh, well. Maybe that's it, too.
I don't know.
Just the
LJK signed. Do they play the same position? He's a guard, right? I believe he's a guard.
Yeah, I mean,
LJK signed look a lot more
Pippen
promising.
play enough to know, like,
Yeah.
what's the role going to be? How's he going to look? Where are his strengths at? How do you analyze his strengths and all that kind of stuff? Real quick, Sean, before we go to the break to get back on the clock. William Turnbull, bring Kosa up to get experience. You and I had a discussion about this before we went on the air